The Lord bless you. We're back again. I want you to, start, sharing the video, and I am really going to talk to a man here, a great man here, and there is. I once in a while I get myself, connected to our community, and I try, to, just not disconnect myself from the community, and just to hear what's going on. And today I have a man, a great man. I call him a great man, and he is a great man. I was watching one of his interview yesterday with in a radio station, and as I heard him talking, I said to myself, "This is a man that knows how to bring the best out of people, and his desire to make people." There are people that are born, and their main assignment is to make others great. That's their main assignment. They believe that if they can make somebody great, they become great themselves. And this is literally what I believe we stand for. God called us so that what he has invested in us, we can also invest it in others. In other words, if we can make somebody great, we know that as they are going up, we are also going up with them. And so I have a CEO of a media company called Media Excel Company, and based in Ghana, but he's all over the place. This great man, and we are really going to talk to him. There is also a little, controversy, a little controversy. And, I made up my mind to really talk to him because I really want to find out certain, information. How they say it, from the horse's own mouth. It's going to be an interesting interview here. I was just asking him, why did they call you, why? Akwesi Ernest. All right, so I am here in the studio with Mr. Akwesi Ernest, and I am really going to talk to him about what's going on in our nation, Ghana, there, and in the music industry. I really want to find out because there is so much that is going on that is literally very interesting. And so we want to find out. And so, Mr. Akwesi Ernest, hey, it is so good to see you.
Thank you, Mama.
It is so good to see you.
My pleasure.
My
pleasure being here.
It is so good to see you. I really want to talk to you because there is a lot that is going on. And since I know you are right here in the United States,
that's it.
I believe that I have to get the opportunity to be asking you all the questions I really, want to be asking you. Yeah. Now, I know that you are the CEO of Media Excel. Yeah. How did you get there? Let me ask you, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm very fine in America. As you can see, it's for 2 days I was under the weather. Sometimes they say it's summer, and then all of a sudden you see the weather is getting a bit cold, warm, and all that kind of thing. So I'm just adjusting.
You have to adjust. You don't have a choice at all.
I'm trying to adjust very well.
You have to adjust. Because if you don't adjust, that will be trouble.
Exactly.
That will be trouble. So you have to be adjusted. Yeah. But the thing is, you see, the weather can fool you a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, you still have to at least wear some. You see, when people come from Africa, you like wearing, because when the weather gets a little nice, you think, oh, I'm back home. But that's what.
But it's also the people that are living with us. They keep telling you today the weather is fine. And then you are in a room and they tell you today, oh, what a nice weather. And then you are tempted to follow them. Then before you see, then they themselves too, the people who are saying there's a nice weather, before you see, they are running for protection.
No, but the thing is, you see, in Africa, we don't have, it's only in, and they don't even classify South Africa as an Africa, whatever, why. So, but in Africa, you know that the weather is always hard.
Yeah.
So some of us, we've adjusted. So when the weather is kind of little, cold, it's okay.
That's
because
true.
we live in it.
That's true.
But you are coming from, far away.
Yeah.
You're coming from far away.
I've crossed the Atlantic Ocean.
I like that.
Yeah. But funny enough, it's my pleasure being on this set. For some of us in the arts entertainment in Ghana, I mean, we do watch your programs very. I'm a big fan of you. And it's been one of my dreams to always be on this set. And for me, being here is one of the greatest fulfillments personally that I made to myself. Because I watch you in Ghana, and I watch the interviews, the inspirations, the words that you give, and the following. Because I was wondering that there was last time there was an interview we were doing, and then I just had the chance, and I chanced on, and there were about 5,000, 10,000 people, and I said, oh, is this pastor that is having this social media following and all that kind of thing, you know, because, and it was good. And so the interviews you grant to the artists, I watched Stella Dugan's own, Abba Seal, I watched her own live. I also watch my own artist, SP Kofi Sapon.
Yeah.
I also watch his interview also live.
He has a sweet
and,
spirit.
And it was just amazing.
He has a
It's just
very
amazing.
sweet spirit.
Yeah,
I have met him, of course, Mama Stella.
Yeah.
Then I met Joyce Blessing.
Joyce Blessing,
and
yeah.
we are going to talk about Joyce. I met Joyce, a beautiful lady.
Yeah.
I met Joyce. I mean, I met Ernesto Poku.
Yeah, Ernest too has been here.
Right.
I think I watched Ernest segments too as well.
Right.
Yeah,
So I've met a couple. Couple
the
of
gurus
them.
are here.
Yes, I've really met a couple,
Yeah.
and I know pretty soon I am going to be sitting here, you know, with a great people and interview them as well.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: how did you come up with? Why did you even go in the media in the first place?
Okay, what exactly happened? While I was in school, my grandfather, you know, was a chief. And so I lived with him. And in my grandfather's house, it's, you know, those days, concert house, where musicians come to play concert, you know. So I was a bit young, from 1993, 94, about, and I saw Nanam Pedu, you know, 92, Kakoku, Akosiam Pofuji, all of them, they keep coming, performing and all that kind of thing. And so, personally, I'm a lover of music, way back in Syrian school and all that kind of thing. So, I saw them, and I was like, what is these people doing unique that I can be able to get myself to it? Because I see them, these are great people. We see them on TV, we hear them on radio. You know, those days TV was not in, but on radio, you hear them and all that kind of thing with this large following. So I got myself right after Syrian school, and then I started following the band, you know. And so I can remember 1996, you know, I joined a band, you know, the UB2 dance band. Yeah, and then we were playing the Wager Family Fun on GBC. I was young then, and we were on TV, you know, on the reality show and all that. And so, you know, it spurs me on, and then the band went on, and then on and on. I stayed with several legends. I used to live with Asiko Darling.
Really?
You know, yeah. I live with him. May his soul rest in peace. You know, and he taught me a lot. You know, and then I also came to live with Ejeku, you know, Kwesi P's father.
Right.
I lived with him, and then I also quite a number of them learning under the trades, you know, and all that kind of thing and all that. So it was a bit eye-opening following them. And then the break-off in between the bands. I woke up one day and I said, okay, well, I want to record an album. So in 2004, I brought out my own album under the name Kwesi Ernest.
Wow.
And a gospel song.
I see.
So 2004, I released my own album called Bisaye, so that was the title. And fortunately for me, it was a mess. You know, it was a mess. I lost heavily. You know, the whole thing, I don't know. But the whole thing, you know, I couldn't get a financier to push me and all that kind of, quite a number of people were there those times trying to push me up and all that, but it wasn't successful. And it really cost me a lot of pains. I remember my music almost took me out of the church. When I recorded the album, I remember very well that I almost became a street boy from that production.
Why?
Because I was so much in debt. And I remember I went through one of my church elders and all that. Some of them gave me money to support, you know, because those times music was fetching. So everybody was with the intention that, hey, when you finish, come and pay me my money. You know, like when you finish, we are bet to make out, you know, that kind of thing. And then we did this launching, And then the whole money that I got was like 200 Ghana cedis or so those times, you know.
Wow.
And it was a bit, and so I go to church, and then the moment I enter, this person will come, where is my money? And then I go to this person will come and say, where is my money? And it was frustrating. So I decided not to go to church at all, because if I go to church, you know, people will come and chase me for money and all that kind of thing. So I hide myself in the room and all that. And my mother was very, very frustrated. I remember a whole year, 2 years was a very frustrating moment. So in between all these periods, I one day sat down and I said, if this is what musicians go through for them to release, to record an album, then I want to avail myself to support them. I want to be a manager. I want to be an arts manager and a producer, to be behind them and push them. So this was the transition from being an artist and becoming a music producer. So it was much more or less like a frustrated musician and now becoming an artist manager.
I get it now. I get it now. Okay. Because I was kind of a little confused. I'm like, okay, okay, so I get it now.
Yeah, so my full name is Ernest Kwesi Enin. I'm from the Enin family. So proud one, the Fanti. Yes.
Hey! All right, so you started, so who was the first person you produced?
So I started with management. And one of my first major acts that I managed was Georgia J. Georgia, then she has recorded Ebenezer. Baby, I mean, so now me free. Make us say yes, why are they? It was a big one. She was then being produced under the Mega Star label in Ghana. That was those times the biggest record label then, big one. And so I had opportunity of managing her. And really, I must say that my first was successful. I went to the second, was successful. Then I came to Benis Affair, Stella Duga, Benis Affair. Yeah, they came to Benis Affair. And then we did Life is So Short. We did Hold On Fast, and all those hit songs. And then from there, I was walking through town. And then I met a very fair woman, very beautiful in the music industry. I said, hey, young man, I see you doing a lot of things. My name is Stella Dugan. I want you to be my manager.
Wow. The legend.
Yes.
Wow.
And, you know, and I was like, if Stella said, I said, yes, I want you to be a manager. You're a hardworking young man. And I must say that throughout my entire career, Stella Dugan is one of the person that really gave me so much of support.
There is something about, I call her Mama Stella. Yeah. There is something about Mama Stella.
Yeah.
Grace.
Yeah. You know what she did? I wanted to transit from the management to a producer. And then I didn't have the money. Because it takes, when a manager signs an artist, you need to give money, you need to do that. And then she looked at my face and said, young man, you know, I know you want to do something, but I'll give you this opportunity. So one of her worship songs, Oh, Dombro Sune,
wow.
So she said, I want you to produce this one. And she gave me the opportunity, and I produced the album, and it was successful. And we had the opportunity of even working with Reverend Bernard Blessing too. You know, then he also translated with the worship songs.
He's my schoolmate. You know, he's my classmate.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. He's my classmate. Went to the same school with him.
Yeah. And, you know, I remember Stella gave me my first car. Yeah. She gave me my first car, bought me a car. It was. And so to today, she's become like a mother to me, whatever I do. And I have always have the opportunity of appreciating her for the opportunity that she gave to me at the early stages of my career.
You know what I'm learning now? To me, I've become a mobile learner. I learn from everything.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm learning now is this. You realize you started something.
Yeah.
You were under training.
Yeah.
You started and then you broke up.
Yeah.
You started something.
Yeah.
And, you realize that this is not where I am really supposed to be doing.
That's right.
And so you changed.
Yeah.
And just as you recognize, you learn from the first mistake you made.
Yeah.
So you changed, and now it started working. Now, there are people watching us, and oh, Jesus, hey, you know me. So there are people watching us. You are into a particular thing, and it's not working. And yet you will not go to God and ask him, why am I still here? What is it? Am I doing the right thing? Am I supposed to be in here? Am I supposed to change this thing? But because we think that this is what we are called to do, so let me just do it. I remember my husband used to say, I started with singing. So my husband, I remember my husband, saying that, one of these days you're going to preach the gospel. I said, no, it's not me. I said, no. I said, you are the one who God has called to preach. As for me, I am only called to sing. So let me just stay in my lane. Now, what I didn't know, that God had a better plan. You understand? And so, and I'm flowing nicely. And I bless God for it.
That's true.
And so there are times that our path will be, we'll have to move and do the right thing. So now here, when you decided to move, you met somebody that decided to give you a chance.
And sister, there are quite a number of musicians. I see them singing. I think that they are not supposed to sing.
Hey.
There are quite a number of gospel artists. I see them. They are just supposed to be writing the songs, pray over it, and deliver it for people to sing. And lots of them, they are holding to it. It's my song, it's my this, I want to sing. And because I say, and people come to my office, I tell them, madam, you don't have the voice. You see,
you tell them.
I tell. I'm one of the, if you, in Ghana, everybody will tell you, I speak as it is. I say it as it is.
Yes, so we are going to talk about that.
Yeah. I say it as it is.
Because the way there is so much controversy around it.
Because, you see, people don't want to hear the truth, but you need to tell people the truth. And people get offended. I remember one day I was in my office, and then a young lady came to my office, and then she came with a man, and the man said, oh, I've seen this young lady, and I want to produce her. I want to invest into her career. And I want you to listen, because people bring it to me, they want you to listen and then prove whether the song is good for marketing and all that kind of thing. I said, okay, well. But I said, please, you have come to me. I'm like a medical doctor. If you have cancer, I'll tell you. If you have throat problem, I'll tell you. So if I say it, please don't get offended. And so I listened to the song, and I look at the young man's face, and I said, Papa, if you invest into this project, you're not going to sell.
Whoa. Because
the young lady doesn't have the voice. She's not an artist. You must be an artist to profess a particular profession. You see the whole thing? And that's why most of the times our music is not traveling the level it's supposed to travel. Because we haven't wrong people who are just watching television and then imagining what people are doing and then telling themselves, as for this one, I can do better than this person. They are not being called into it. And so we are having too much of those people now filling the spaces and blocking the chances of people who have the rare talent.
Whoa.
So if you look at the industry now, it's becoming much more or less like people who are having the rare talent are not getting support.
That is it.
They are not getting support. And those who don't have the talent are rather flying everywhere. And so they go, and they cannot hit the level it's supposed to go. The music is not traveling to the home it's supposed to be. They sing, there's no anointing, there's no unction. It is raw as cassava sticks, and it's not working.
Whoa.
Yes, we need to speak the truth. Gospel music has to be, is an empowerment. You must be spiritually inclined to sing gospel music.
Hey.
You must be biblically inclined to sing gospel music. You must be a born again to sing gospel music.
Now, I heard something that people are singing gospel music. They're not born again, and they are singing gospel music, and some are literally going everywhere, just to make it. But it's not God. Have you really come across that?
It's quite. When for some of us that works with gospel artists, I must say that. I'm not here to be denigrate or anybody's reputation, but I'm saying that if you see some of the acts, the behaviors, and you look at the people who are outside there, sometimes I ask myself that, the world really need to hear some of these things one day. Most of the gospel artists must really need Jesus than even the people they are singing to.
Hey.
Yeah. They need Jesus.
That's deep.
Yeah. They need Jesus than the people they are singing to. Because it's heartening. If you see some of the things that you see them do, if you see some of the things you see them do, and sometimes even what we hear, you'll be there, you hear gospel musician is drunk, is this, and you wonder what is happening. Sometimes it's an industry. You are tempted to believe that as an industry, you may have, a phobia men's home. You have a few, individuals here and there and all that kind of thing too. People will come, people in wolf skin will come and then add to the. But trust me, I see, sometimes when I sit down as an elderly person, it's all of the things that you can say, but I think that most of the gospel musicians, they themselves that are singing, they need Jesus than the people they are singing the
I like
gospel
that.
to.
Those that are singing need Jesus more than the people they are singing to.
Yeah.
That's very deep.
Yeah, because it's unfortunate. I'm not judging anybody, but the truth, from me, from a manager point of view, seeing some of them, their acts, the kind of thing they do, it's as if that they are, it's like what the Pharisees were doing, like, listen to my song, but don't look at my lifestyle.
Hey!
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And we need to have opportunity to address and pray. And I'm saying that I believe in prayer. Prayer does. Because you see, you cannot just be singing gospel music, and it happened that Jesus comes and you are not part of the calling. And that's that. And for me, that is a middle line. That is a middle line. And then there's some two in who are very much powerful, very, very powerful. That anytime I pray that God, may you bring more financial resources so that we can push these people out there. You see, and sometimes you can be in your office. I have people who comes to me and said, "Oh, my husband wants to come and take me to Abuchi, and I've heard that if I do music, I'll become popular and I can get a visa to travel with it." I said, "No, madam, it's not possible." People have so much of mentality. As the trade is getting exciting, as the showbiz, so that we call it, is getting exciting, you may have few people, individuals, who will want to use this for their personal benefit.
That's it.
Not for the rescuing of souls to the body of Christ.
The rescuing of souls. I like that.
Not for the rescue of souls to the body of Christ. It is for their personal, kind of thing, what I want to benefit. But if you go to church for what you get and not what you are going to contribute, then of course you are in the wrong place.
Repeat that. I like that. I like that. I like that.
If you go to church for what you get and not what you are going to contribute to the church, then you are in the wrong place.
Let me ask you. You've managed, people like SK,
Kofi Sapon, yeah.
You've done Mama Stella.
I've done Mama Stella.
Right. And then who else have you done?
I've worked with Human Mercy on the Introchade album. I've worked with Tego Sisters. I've worked with Reverend Yosson. I've worked with Amy Newman. I've worked with
Mama Amy.
Yeah. In between the line, I also came to the secular. I've worked with King David, the High Life artist. I worked with him on 2 albums, and I also had opportunity of working with Becca for almost 4 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So Becca, Becca and the EKB Records. I was then Becca's international traveling manager. Everywhere she goes, I was with her. We did almost like 4 years I was with Becca and all that. So all the album, You Lied to Me, and all of that, I was part. And I had opportunity, same trend, also working with the Prayer, working on the Angelina album as well. Quite a number of them. And it's been so successful.
We bless God. Yeah. I want to talk to you, briefly on, because there was, a whole lot that was going on.
Yeah.
You were managing Joyce Blessing.
Yeah.
And I have gotten the opportunity to sit, with Joyce, and we've done, spoken to her.
Yeah.
There is something about her countenance. Yeah. She has a lot of grace.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I sat and I spoke with her, and later there was a whole bunch of, things that were, and I yesterday, like I said, I spent time and I sat down and I was watching one of your interviews. And in the midst of the interview, Joyce was there. She was in the radio station with you. And the things you were saying was like, whoa, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
So you see Joyce as somebody who, and there's a reason why her name is coming up.
That's true.
Okay, because I know her personally.
That's true.
So the reason why her name is coming up is because you were managing Joyce. And why did you decide not to do that song for her? Why did you decide not to do it?
The Just Blessing issue, personally, was a bit too personal. I call it too close to call. I personally believe in her talent. I had almost like a 10 years developmental plan for Joyce.
Whoa.
When I met her, I think that I saw quite a number of things in that young lady.
Great talent.
And personally in Ghana now, I still believe that if there's any gospel artist who can really take Ghana flag on the international market, on the international level in terms of the Oscars and all that. That young lady, if given the chance, can take Ghana to Oscar.
She's great.
Or
Great
to
talent.
any of those big international awards here, I think, and all that. Because she's a great performer. And I personally took her brand as a personal because I gave her the tutelage, I gave her the counseling, I gave her the opportunity. In fact, her work, the 2 to 3 years working with her was like a school. Because you see, it was like, I want to make sure this lady becomes successful.
Whoa.
And nothing will come in there. But like as nature will have it, you know, this job has got its ups and downs. And sometimes in the course of our work, you know, you wake up to surprises. You know, you wake up to surprises. And some of the surprises are exciting. Some of them too are heart disturbing, you know, heartbreaking. And so what you have to do as a manager is to embrace yourself to be able to accept the two. Because if an artist decides,
I like that.
yeah, if an artist decides that I'm not going to work with you again, it's much more or less like a woman who had decided to divorce a man. You see the whole thing. If you can buy her a car, she will still go. You can buy her a house. Her mind is made up that I am seeking for divorce. Nothing. You can call all the apostles in this world together and then talk to the woman.
That, wow.
If the woman says, I'm going. And that's how our industry also looks like. The artist has decided to churn on a different course. She wants to go here. And you have to allow the person to try. And because sometimes you have to put the two on the table. You have to allow the person to also know that, value what you have done for her and what she herself is also going to do. If she goes after years, she'll sit down and then put the two in their hands and say, whoa, this is what I had working with this person for only 3 years. This is what I was also been able to achieve working alone for these years. I compare the two. Which one has given me the best deal?
Wow.
You see that? So you need to give people the opportunity
Wow.
to assess themselves in that way. In that way, you become a grandfather because the person...
Wow.
You become a grandfather because the person will still forever have an admiration for the little years that you spend in his or her career. And for me, that is the best. And for me, it's the best decision. I decided, and when all the hula balloons was going on, I told myself that, look, I spent so much of time. People were saying, because I'm a street boy. There's nothing I cannot do. If you face me, if you come with me, I can meet you squarely, boot for boot.
Hey,
but then when
thou shalt repent.
exactly, but, you know, it's a part of the trade.
Of course, it's part of
but
it.
then in her case, when the hula balloon came, I sat there in my room, and then my father Shadrach Ofosuwari called me and prayed with me. He said, Ernest, I don't want you to say anything on this. I said, Papa, I'm going to do that. You know, because I said, I spent so much of time building this woman up. If there's anything hatred, I wouldn't have spent that time risking everything within me to lift that person up. So why would you go to the extent of maybe destroying her, pulling her down, or saying anything? No. I said, no, let me hold my peace. The media has got so much of things. And you see, the sad part of our job is that when you are managing an artist and the artist doesn't become successful, there's no problem. The moment an artist becomes a star, you have over 2 million people managing the artist with you. That is part of our job. The moment an artist becomes a star, and the word stardom is, I'm talking about the P1 artist, you have 2 million people managing the artist with you. Your own friends, the artist's family, her husband, the parents, everything, the society, radio presenters, the media personalities, and it keeps going on and on and on and on. And what happens is that because the artist hears a lot of things outside, if you are not careful, and with a few of maybe immature decisions and all that, the artist may be tempted to either break off with the management or continue. And this has happened to several record labels around the world. You see, and so it's a situation that for me, like I'm saying right now as I'm talking, I'm very cool with her. I'm fine with her. I think that 3 days ago I even spoke with her.
That's good.
Even when I was here, she called and asked, well, how am I doing?
That's
Where
good.
I am? When am I coming back to Ghana and all
That's
that?
good.
Yes, and I believe that I am not. I don't want to believe, but I believe that if it happened again, that I had to still go. If God speak to me and said that go and continue and build that young lady's career, I will still want to give it a thought again and still give her that support.
Wow.
Yeah, because the thing is that it's for me, it's for God and not for man.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
because I was just going to ask you, because
Yeah.
when I watched the interview, I realized that you have this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, she's a married woman. Hello, but you have this. You believe
Yeah.
that she can become.
Yeah.
Whoever she
Yeah.
want to become, and to me that is of a great importance.
Yeah.
That you can look at a human being and say that this is what I believe this person
Yeah.
can become.
Yeah.
And I want to put it closer to this is Jesus is saying this is what you can become.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I am there to help you.
Yeah.
So just give me the chance for me to do what
Yeah.
what I have to do, because there is so much potential in you.
Yeah.
And when I listened to the interview, I mean, I honestly respected you for
Yeah.
it. I did.
Because, sister, madam, it's not an easy thing, Pastor. In 2 years of picking her career up, I think we won almost about 11 awards. And then the overall gospel album of the year in Ghana.
In 2 years.
In 2 years, 24.
She won 11
11
awards.
awards in 24 months. In 24 months, she toured Great Britain, she toured Europe, the whole of Europe, and then also the last visa was, we took visa to tour the whole of America, and that's why she came here.
Wow.
You see, and so, I mean, this is the growth that I'm talking about. And it's one of the things, sometimes when you talk, you have few people, individuals that say, hey, I said, no, I believe that she still have something more within her that we need to. Because trust me, in GH now, when you talk about performance, an artist that can match Sarkodie in terms of stage performances, an artist that can match Shatta Wale or Stonebwoy, any of these secular artists, you cannot take Just Blessing out from it. She's a performer, and that's how I groom her to be. And that's how it's supposed to be. We groom her to it and everything. And so for me, I think that there's still something in that young lady which the world must see.
Let me ask you, you've managed a whole bunch of people, and all these people, you've managed. Why her? That's what I want to ask you. Why her? Because I mean, Ohima Messi, Mama Stella, and all these people. But why Joyce? That's the thing. I mean, because they all have great talent.
Yeah.
I mean, great talent. But why Joyce?
I think that if you look at my portfolio, I've got 2 individuals who are very close to me and close to my heart. Because like the names you have mentioned, I didn't make Ohima Messi. Before I met Ohima Messi, Big Ben has already done all the works already. Before I'll meet Abba Seal, Stella Dugan under the John Mensah Sapon label has done creditably good. You understand? It was just I was a continuing.
Oh,
yeah, it
you
was
started afresh.
exactly.
Oh.
But an artist such as Just Blessing and SP Kofi Sapon, these were like my signature. It's like SP Kofi Sapon.
I get it now.
They are like my signature. That is like they are the level of the company. The company Media Excel is them, and they are Media Excel because they are my signature. Like SP Kofi Sapon, he didn't even wanted to do the music.
Really?
Yes, he came to sing in my church. On one Sunday, it was a harvest. He came to sing in my church, and then he performed. Last time he was on ASP in police, and then he was going. And I was sitting there, and a voice was hitting to me that go and talk to that young man. So I moved out from the church service. And then when I was going, he opened his car, he was going to sit in. And I said, please, I want to talk to you. He said, oh, really? I said, yes. I said, my name is Kwesi Ernest. He said, okay, how are you? I said, I'm fine. I said, I want to produce you.
Wow.
Then he started laughing. He said, you want to produce me? I said, yes. How? When they mentioned my name, didn't you hear that they said I'm a police officer? I said, yes. But I believe there's something in you which the world must know. So please, I want to produce you. Then he started laughing. He laughed for like 5 minutes. He thought I was joking. So he gave me his number and said, you call me later, we'll talk. I bombarded it with telephone calls for like 2 weeks. This man was not even, he was not picking my call. I'll call him, I am busy. I was like this, you know, and all that. I was calling him, he was not even responding. So I went to his office, one-on-one. He said, young man, why are you disturbing and pestering me like this? I said, Papa, I still want to. I believe there's something in you that has to come out. So right in his office, he took a pen and said, okay, well, write something. Let me go and give it to the police administration. If they approve it, we'll do the music. If they don't approve it, we'll say bye-bye. And to him, the reason why he was asking me to write that letter was because he thought that when he sent the letter to the headquarters, they would say he can't do it, so that he'll be free from my pestering of course and all that. So in his office, we wrote the letter, everything, minuted it, and then he said I should wait in his office. I was sitting in his office like this, alone, for 30 minutes. He came back. He started laughing. I said, why are you laughing? He said, oh, they have approved it.
Oh, wow.
You see, if they have approved it, I said, whoa, we thank God. And that is how SP Kofi Sapor came. And then, so right from there, we started. I called Akobwa, and then we started with him. So we're even rehearsing in his office.
Wow.
We pick the keyboard, Akobwa will pick a keyboard, we'll go to his office. Then he'll be there, we'll write all the songs, and then I will be standing by him, Papa sing it. So me call social beam, and I said, we did that.
So who wrote the song?
Akobwa wrote the song. There's a young guy called Akobwa.
Oh.
You see? And then we rehearsed for almost like 6 months in his office before finally we went to Zabmalet's studio to start recording.
Wow.
You see the whole thing? And you see, and he even himself, there was something that keeps telling me that this thing will happen. It will happen, keep pushing.
Wow.
And I remember the day when I filed SP Kofi Sapor posters, the whole of Cantonment. That day, he himself, he got almost about 200 calls. Just his posters. We filed the posters around it. We printed in midnight, 12 midnight. We filed the whole posters around Accra. People were like, SP Kofi Sapor, DSP Kofi Sapor, DSP Kofi Sapor, who is this guy? And then we dropped one worship song. One song on radio. And it was a big. In 2 weeks, he is all over the place. In 2 weeks, he's all over the place. And so I'm saying that whatever gospel musicians do is a calling. But whatever we as managers, we also do is also a calling.
Yeah, of course.
Because if it is not a calling,
you can do it.
I still don't doubt that voice that spoke to me in my church to go and speak to SP Kofi Sapor that you can sing. So let's do this.
Wow.
The same voice is the same voice that spoke to me about Just Blessing. It's the same voice that spoke to me about Benny Sofé. The same voice. And I've always been saying that if you are able to listen to the voice of God, because it's always important for you to listen to God than what you want to tell God. Because the end of the matter is that what God is telling you is important than what you are telling God. So it is always important to listen to God.
I'm asking you to share. I'm telling you, I'm asking you to share this video. Did you ever get the chance to either meet the young lady that died through the accident?
Yeah.
And did you ever get a chance to meet her?
Yes.
Did you work with her?
I worked with Ebony in between. I was part of the management team, but not like a frontliner, because her manager, Bullet, happens to be one of my sons in between, because I became the chairman for the Musician of Ghana. I was the chairman for 8 years, Musica, in Greater Accra. I was the chairman. So I had opportunity of working with Bullet and all that kind of thing. So in between then, Bullet became like my son. And so, and even in between, even with the point of managing Bullet, even to the point. And then also, so when Bullet found Ebony, I was one of the first persons that he brought Ebony to me at a Kempinski Hotel. We met and then asked that, Kwesi, this is the artist I found. I want you to talk to her for me. And Ebony sat with me for almost 2 hours. We're sharing life experience. She was asking me industry questions. What is she supposed to do to make it up and all that? And if you see Ebony those times, a beautiful woman. I was just admiring her when we had a long chat. and all that kind of. I encouraged her, spoke to her for 2 hours before they left. And in between her works too, you know, I do events in Ghana. I do one of the biggest events in Ghana, like the December show we do in Kwawu, the Blaze on the Hills Festival. It's a 5 days festival. Every year, we assemble 30 artists to perform. Ebony performed in last 2 years. I think my show was one of the last but one shows that she did in Christmas before her demise and all that. So she was very close to me. I had opportunity one-on-one encounter with Ebony and all of them, and it was just she was just an amazing person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, of course, I am not, you know, once in a while I get the chance to listen to, you know, news coming from, you know, our country there. And I'm just wondering how come, you know, many artists are dying through car accidents.
Yeah.
And I believe mainly, I don't know if it's the streets, if it's whatever, but my thing is, why are they dying? And most of them are dying through accidents.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's put the hairs on the shelf.
Yeah.
Recently, there was something that was going on in our news.
Yeah.
And it entails you know, two men.
Yeah, 2 giant men.
2 giant men.
Yeah.
What really happened? I mean, of course, I mean, one of my spiritual sons was in our home.
Yeah.
And my oldest daughter is you know, they're like, you know, so I mean, I was just sitting there listening to them. They were watching their watch show.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, we
Boom.
see, you know,
Boom.
guns.
Guns and ammunition.
We see guns.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm saying in Ghana, guns. I mean, I was kind of taken aback. And so what's going on with that?
I think that in our history, in terms of Ghana music, I think that the Stonebwoy Shatta Wale Ghana Music Awards fall off is one of the biggest unfortunate incidents that has possibly ever happened to our music industry. It is one of the biggest. We have seen all. We have seen a number of things. We have seen beefing, you know, and all that kind of thing. People, you know, once everybody wants to be at the top. Musicians, everybody. Both gospel, hip life, everybody wants to be at the top. It is a dream of every musician going to studio, recording, to wake up and having his or her song #1 on the charts.
Yeah.
That's a dream of every manager. It's a dream of every artist. So once in a while, there's this rivalry between artists. This person thinks I'm big, this person thinks I'm that, and all that. But for the last 5 years, you know, we have entered into the seasons of movement and movement and movement. And having musicians forming vigilante groups and all that kind of unfortunate fan base distance. The forming fan base, particularly in itself, wasn't a bad thing. It was actually the reason why, first, we all want artists to grow, because we felt that if an artist has got a fan base, it's also good to support the artist to grow, performance, downloads, music downloads, sales here and there, and all that kind of thing. So it's good for artists to have that. But I think that these 2 individuals have gradually moved their fan base from economic to become a radical organization. And which, if care is not taken, I'm sure that the nation will wake up one day and will pay heavily for allowing them that amount of space. You understand? And it is important that whatever, because a 20 years anniversary, the 2 people, individuals, rock a whole Charterhouse 20 years anniversary plant. They rock it flat on the ground.
Whoa.
Yes. They rock it, the 2 individuals. An anniversary, 20 years anniversary award, which has taken people almost about 4 months to plan. Board meetings and technical award meetings and all that, individuals flying over. Look at it. The whole event was beamed on the whole world. The whole world was watching.
The whole world
and then you wake up and these 2 individuals, I mean, messed the whole awards up. And then nothing happened. I sat back and asked myself, hey, if somebody wakes up, because I have seen, and one of the things that personally, I'm thinking that the security services has more to do in this issue than ever. Because I've seen that Kwao Kesi went Kwakasi some time back went to Kumasi and smoked weed. And he was arrested, arraigned before court. And he was really dealt with. A young man called Weiser, we all heard the name Weiser, went on stage in performance and then exposed his manhood on stage in between performance. And he's been dragged to court almost here and there. And people went to stage on awards night, pulled guns, and we are rather giving them unity concerts.
Are you kidding?
I found it like, hello, somebody goes to stage, pull a gun, people are running helter-skelter, event organizers, big men, televisions all over. The name of Ghana is put on a red flag. The whole world, everybody is talking about Ghana. BBC, CNN, everybody is talking about this. This has denigrated the name of the arts in Ghana so much badly. And we are doing unity concerts.
Let me ask you this. I mean, with everything that was, I was kind of shocked though, because I know, I think it's Stonebwoy. He's one of my spiritual mentors. Went dedicating the child and all that. Now, when I saw the gun issue, seriously, I mean, I'm like, this can be happening.
No, in this 21st century, in that large auditorium, Reverend, it was just the intervention of God Almighty. Like that night, over thousands of people were going to be on stampede.
Whoa.
I'm telling you, we're going to die through stampede. It was just by divine intervention.
Were you there?
I wasn't. I was here. I was in US. I was watching it on TV. But I was having live report, direct, of whatever that was happening. Because the dome is not like conference center. It's a new structure that was built, constructed purposely for the awards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was built 4 days to the awards. And so it's a new structure. And so you can imagine 8,000 people, 5,000 people packed themselves into this, and then guns and ammunition were up, and people were running, finding space. You can imagine what will happen. You remember the stadium disaster?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
When people are packed like that, and people are running, people will be stamping on people's heads for survival because everybody is afraid of guns. And in the first place, why do people go to awards programs with guns on them?
Yeah, but what about security though?
That is the thing. So I'm saying that for this year's Ghana Music Awards, truth must be told. I'm sure that it is quite difficult for some people to make the truth, to say it as it is. But the truth is that technically we failed. From organizing point of view, we failed. From the industry point of view, we failed. And from the nation as a whole, I believe that governments must begin looking at the arts seriously and get themselves very involved, because it is something that sells the country. It is something that sells the country. Showbiz sells the world. And if people will use showbiz to denigrate the country, then it's unfortunate. And that's what I'm saying, that government must, because we need to make sure that awards and all this type of things, government should support security measures and all this type of things. There should be some sector ministers we must show much more of concern and support than because if we allow it too much to the private investor, the private businessman, after getting his awards ticket sales in his account, possibly he cares a bit, though he will show concern. But maybe there will be little that he alone can do for such a Ghana Music Awards thing. Because the moment you put Ghana, you are talking about the Ghana flag. It's a national thing. And if it's a national thing, then the state must be involved with whatever is happening to make sure that the protection and the guidance of the scheme is well protected. If not, this thing that has happened will happen again. Because now that we are doing unity concert for them, tomorrow another person will take the opportunity and say, yay, this thing, somebody did it, nothing happened. So let me also go and try it so that I can be famous. Because right now I've seen police officers taking selfies with them and enjoying popularity, even than making sure that making sure that they are reprimanded. You understand? So if somebody does something like this, pull a gun, and the person is celebrated in this manner, one day the person will take a knife and slaughter somebody's head, and he will be celebrated.
Whoa.
So that's the point.
Whoa.
And for me, it's a bit unfortunate that people pull guns and they mess the whole award scheme up like this. And then we are doing a unity concert. Are we in Kosovo? Is Ghana now a Kosovo? Ghana Entertainment, is it in Kosovo? Is it in Sudan that we have to do unity concert for two artists who are fighting? No. Wow. Unity concert for what?
Wow.
Is Ghana under military rule? We are not under military rule.
Wow.
We're a Republican country. Showbiz. Unity concert for what? Are we, what is happening? We don't, I mean, for me, anybody that had that mentality really is, I'm sure maybe it's for the commercial purpose. The person is thinking about what the person will get in his pocket. But trust me, this money is not worth it. Unity concert for what? For what? For pulling guns.
Wow.
Somebody pull a gun and you are doing a unity concert. Imagine that the people that went there, you can ask how much did they and co. People were bleeding from their nose, from tear gas and everything.
Whoa.
Yes.
But that was not shown. You know.
That was not shown. These were things that were happening, smoke and all that, a pepper spray and everything, enter into people's eyes and everything. People went through torture. And you finish and come and say, well, unity concert. Unity concert, are we in Kosovo? When people do things and it's wrong, we must have ability and the balls to reprimand them and let them know so that it will become a deterrent to anybody to do so. Because the way we are handling this situation, it will encourage another person to also go and pull something. Somebody will go and pull a gun. Because in Ghana, when you do that, you'll be celebrated. And for me, that is the part.
That's a shame.
Yeah, for me, that is the part that I'm against. They are fine gentlemen, Shatta Wale, Stonebwoy, fine artists. But I think that we must have a limit and know that we belong to a society. We belong to an industry. And the industry, it is not only us. There are people who are also in the industry. And it is not only for our interest. Other people too need to survive in the industry. If we alone are sitting in Range Rovers and everybody is walking on the ground, what profit does it profit us? We must think about the other people. Are we mean we have only two artists in Ghana? No. We have all of them. We have seen big talent in Ghana. Sarkodie, we have seen Afro-Moses, Atongo, and all these people. They are flying around the world with their talents, selling their talents. Why are we now selling vigilantism instead of talent?
Wow, let me ask you, did you get a chance to talk to any of them? Are you friends with any of them?
I'm a bit close to Shatta Wale.
Did you get a chance to talk to him?
No, I haven't had a chance. Because I'm still here, maybe. I'm still here, maybe.
But will you, do you really...
From where it has gotten to, they're already having their unity concert. There's nothing that I, as an individual here, will say that will matter. They're already having a unity concert. I'm sure after unity concert, they'll go for inauguration concert. Because me, I don't get the twist. If you ask me, I don't get the twist. So what happened to people who went on stage to perform and then the court dealt with them? We have been unfair to them. If people will pull guns and will celebrate, will do unity concert for them, then the state of Ghana should apologize to Waisa, pulling that young man in court. We should apologize to Kwakesi. Because he has gone to smoke, and so police officers were wrangling him up and down everywhere, like he has stolen a goat. Yes, if we can do this if we can celebrate people in this manner, then we should go and apologize to them. That is what I believe.
So it means that the justice system is not fair.
It's not. This is not fair. This is not fair justice. Not at all. Let anybody call in and interpret it for me. I stand for correction. But if somebody can pull a gun in such an 8,000 auditorium, and the person will have a unity concert, and somebody goes to smoke, and the person is taken to court in imprisonment. I mean, I don't get it. What system? What justice system are we using in Ghana? I want explanation. I want any lawyer to explain to me. How did the person pull a gun in such a crowd? Till today, we are not being told whether the gun is a registered gun. Where did he got the gun? Somebody should tell us. We need all this forensic report. Where did he got the gun? Whose gun was it? Was it a registered gun or what? The police should come out with all this report and tell us for the life of 8,000 people who were in that auditorium, instead of focusing on the unity concert. And the police is guarding them for a press conference for unity concert.
Wow.
Are we serious as a nation? This is disheartening. Quite disheartening as an industry person. And I believe that it is unfair for even the organizers of Ghana Music Awards. It means we don't care for any kind of strength and energy they put into the music awards.
But you part
We
of
don't
it.
care for patrons who pay money to go and watch the scheme, and the whole thing got messed up.
But you're part of it.
I am part of it. That's why I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it because I'm part of it, and I'm not afraid of anybody. The truth must be said, and I want to repeat it in camera live. I'm saying that if we can celebrate Unity concert for Stonebwoy and Shatta Wale, then the state must go and apologize, and in fact reimburse them. Wasa and Kwakasi, we must then reimburse them, and then even pay them compensation for all the torture we put them through, for smoking and for exposing their manhood on stage. That's it. That's what I'm saying.
Do you think that thing was done for publicity? Or
From-
let me ask you. Do you think that all that, we going on stage, we want to, it's like we're going to fight each other. Do you think it was just for popularity? Or do you think that they really meant to kill somebody?
Personally, if you ask me, if there were new artists that got themselves into this, sometimes we do stunts as managers. Once in a while, people do stunts for hype. But this is not a stunt.
I see.
This is not a stunt. It's somebody who possibly, I don't know, I'm trying to get the right words to describe it. Because I'm sure, I don't know how to even describe it. It is unfortunate. It shouldn't have happened. And it's embarrassing for the entire state and all of us as industry people.
Yeah.
And we are already celebrating it. We must prove that we want investors into the industry. Today, let's even say that if Vodafone wakes up and say they are not going to sponsor Ghana Music Awards again, as a corporate entity, they don't want their brand to be associated with any guns and ammunitions. What would the state do? Would anybody pay money for the Ghana Music Awards to be organized again? I'm asking, hello, is somebody hearing me? If Vodafone wakes up tomorrow and say that because of what happened, we are not going to associate our brand from our corporate entity, they've written us a letter that they don't want the company's brand to be associated to guns and ammunitions. So we cannot sponsor the awards again. Who will give us money to organize it?
Let me ask you something. Why do you think stuff like this, not just in Ghana, but in the continent, in Africa especially, why do you think stuff like this is rampant? Why do you think so? Because it's kind of interesting how, of course, in a stadium, we all paid money to go and, here in America, people pay money. They go to stadiums, they go to concerts, and they sit down and they enjoy the concert. Of course, there are little things that causes people, but I believe that because they've been matured to a certain level, they know what to do. But my thing is, I believe that these things that was what I thought, that it was done because of publicity. People want to be popular, they want to create, something, for attention and all that. But from what you are telling me, it's making sense. Because if you have 8,000 people in a stadium, and then all of a sudden they see 2 people pulling guns, and everybody's running helter-skelter.
Exactly. You have to run for your life. But you see, it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen in America here. It happens in Jamaica, where dancehall music originated from. Hip-hop music in America here has got guns and ammunition part of it. People pull guns, people shooting each other. It happened. Tupac Shakur, you remember, was shot. And people killing each other for it. It's part of the brand. But you see what the society has done is that they have used the law to make sure that to do the checks and balances. So if you do it, you are going to be imprisoned. So they use the law to minimize all this crime rate in entertainment. If we don't use the law to minimize crime rate in entertainment, it becomes like a stunt for anybody to do it, and people want to do it more and more. You understand what I'm saying? I'm saying that we are in an era of hype and branding.
That's it.
If we are not careful, because of what is happening, one day, you will go to circle and you will see an artist carrying coffin. If you ask the artist, what are you doing? He will tell you, I'm branding myself for carrying coffin.
Oh, mercy. Mercy, Lord. Mercy.
You see, because everybody wants to brand themselves. People are creating things, people want to do this. The news, the bloggers, they want to write things. They are in a right to write things. So every artist wants to have news. And people think that having news is what is selling, not even your creativity and talent. So we have pushed talent behind and we are pushing hype. You see the problem? We have pushed talent behind and then we are promoting hype.
Okay,
So the artists themselves are growing and they cannot compete in international markets because their quality in terms of when they hold the microphone to compete with Shabarangs and other people on stage here, they can't. But the word is your talent that will sell you. Hype will just give you 6 weeks hype. You are dead. 6 weeks of hype. They mention your name flat. You are dead. You are dead on the ground. Your talent will give you the money. Your talent, Afro Moses today is around the whole world world performing because of your talent. You see the whole thing. That's how it is.
So now, what? Of course, I know what you have to do since you are part of them. Okay, Musica.
Yeah.
You're part of it, and so do you think that they will listen to you really when some of them, because some of these things are so real that it has to be put on the table. You understand? It has to be put on the table and it has to be addressed. Now, don't you think that Musica itself, okay, ought to change certain things concerning situations like this?
You see, I think that I've seen quite a number of industry persons and bloggers writing that the president of Musica failed in this regard.
Yeah.
In his duty as a president to make sure that he put the right checks and balances in place to make sure this. But I'm also saying that, yes, it could be true, it could be no, because there's quite a little that he can do as an individual.
Come on, there's a lot he can do.
There's a lot he can do,
Yeah.
but there's also little that he can do because these individuals are also being controlled by the same industry stakeholders. Because if I ask, Reverend Blessing, if I ask you, the board of Charterhouse, the entire board of the Music Awards in Ghana, sat down and banned and ripped these people off from the awards, whatever they receive on the night of the awards. After they have done their banning and everything, same industry people too is organizing a unity concert for these same people, for these two gentlemen. So where do we go? You see the problem. And if you go under the carpet and you find out people who are organizing this unity concert, it will surprise you that even some of them could even be part of the board.
No, but why do you think, do you believe, do you believe that they organize the unity concert just because they want the two of them not to be fighting?
Yeah, I'm sure that is the mentality of anybody that is organizing the unity concert. But I want to look into the camera and tell anybody that is organizing this unity concert that he should forget about it, because as far as the music business is concerned, there is no way Shatta Wale and Stonebwoy will be at peace with each other.
Why do you think so?
Because they have competing brands. And competing brands, everybody wants to be on top. And so the rivalry will still be there. Because if the rivalry doesn't exist, it will exist within them for them to see who is up and who is down. It's part of their brands. You see the whole thing? Yeah, it's part of their brands. It's part of dancehall. Dancehall music is part of that. Dancehall art is part of that. It's the women, the music, the drugs, the whole thing that goes around with dancehall. Go check it. If you go on YouTube and you check, it tells you the people, the practitioners themselves from Jamaica, they are part of it. Dancehall. It's about the women. It's about the music, the style, the smoking, all the things, the the gangster lifestyle that goes around with it. So you cannot sing dancehall music and dress like a pope. It's not possible. You see the whole thing. Yeah. So if you say you are doing dancehall, then you need to profess dancehall, because that's what dancehall exhibits. Pull gun, do this, smoke, be in public, smoke. Smoke is all over the place. People are saying, yeah, that's a dancehall guy. Then their voice is looking crooked like a frog, and then they are talking, yeah. You see that? That's it. That's their profess. So they are professing whatever they are practicing. You understand?
Yeah. And
so I'm saying that we should rather, instead of being worried too much about that, we should rather use the law, strengthen the laws. The law must strengthen to guide anybody that is practicing what. We cannot, because they will continue. Has someone stopped singing? He has not. Shatta Wale too has not stopped singing. He will produce more music. More beefing will come. So, does it mean after Unity concert, they will have to go and do gospel songs? Are they saying that after the Unity concert, they'll go and do a gospel song and promote? It's not possible. They will continue in their line. They will continue, their fan base will continue to viper more, and then the thing will continue. Should be more fire. So that at least that competitiveness between the two of them will exist. Now, though, have you forgotten that the two of them belong to one record label? Shatawale and Stonebwoy belong to Xylophone Media. The two of them belong to one record label, and the record label could not even tame them.
Wow.
You see the thing?
So it's a personal thing.
It's a personal thing. Xylophone Media could not tame the two of them. Even the person who is paying the two of them could not even do Unity concert for them. How much more society?
Wow.
It's not possible.
Wow.
If Xylophone Media could not even tame the two of them, how much more the public? So I'm saying that it's a fruitless effort for anybody that is organizing this. They are professing their talent. That is what they are supposed to do as brands to stay on top. And whatever they are doing now, they are reaping the benefit now because now they are at the top level like this. Graphic is giving them front page. You wake up, Graphic is giving you front page. Free publicity everywhere. They are on BBC, they are everywhere. So now you see even their career is even shooting more.
Right.
It is the reason the state laws must be used to guard against any future occurrence of this nature. So that it will become a deterrent for any young man who wants to follow in that same level. If not, tomorrow if somebody go and pull a gun again like this in any awards, the state will not have any power
to correct.
And that is the danger part of it. If you're a father and you allow two children to fight and you didn't say anything, if your children are fighting too, can you talk about it? You see the thing? So this is the situation that we find ourselves. But apart from that, our industry is doing fine.
Bless.
The industry is moving on.
Oh, okay.
We are trying to grow more talent. More things are happening. I mean, when you come to gospel, Joe Metal, Abner Ruti, Celestine Donko, quite a number of artists are shooting up.
Yeah.
These are fantastic gospel artists who are selling the name of Ghana around the place. Akese Brimpong, Eugene Zuta, there's one, Pastor Edwin Datson, also of the ICGC. I mean, these are fine gentlemen who are coming up. When you go to Hip Life and High Life too, the same thing is happening, is coming through. We have to push them. They need our support.
Yeah.
We'll give them the support. We'll give them the societal support, the environment and everything. But I'm saying that they have to always remember that they belong to a society with morals and cultural values. And we must respect our cultural values to make Ghana a complete place.
I really love this. I do. I really love this. Now let me ask you this. And so I know you are here, and tomorrow you are going to be with Francis Adjei.
That's right.
And for him to launch his new CD, you know, and it's going to be a live concert.
That's true.
And we really bless God. We'll all come support.
That's
and we bless God.
Amen.
We'll bless God for it. What you are saying, it makes a lot of sense. And my, deepest, wish is that as a nation, we should be able to let the law work. Why? Because we govern by laws. A lawless nation, anytime you get yourself connected, or if you are in a lawless nation, you are not going anywhere, because anybody can get up and do anything they want. But I know these two people are fine gentlemen, and my prayer really is that the two of them will know that we are living in a place or in an environment where everything you do, because they are in the limelight, people are looking up to them, and because people are looking up to them, they should be able to set beautiful examples for others to emulate and to follow as well. I want you to tell us something about what you are doing, Francis Adjei.
Yeah. Like we heard him last week when he was here. Ada Francis Adjei, the legendary, as we all know, is working with Media Excel now. And we've put up a new album for him. And I think that he's got that anointing. He's got the unction on his life that must be projected. for the world. And I'm happy and proud for your support. I mean, you have already started supporting already, and you're doing quite a number. I'm sure that there's more other people too can also do to support. Tomorrow is concerts at the Bronx Central, the Pentecost Church. And I'm believing that tomorrow we'll have opportunity to celebrate him and celebrate him more. I don't even want to mention the part of fundraising. We are celebrating him.
The celebration.
And it must be a celebration. We want to celebrate his life. We want to celebrate his achievement and what he has done as a person. And so the show is coming on live. Stella Abasil will be through tomorrow. Stella Dugan is coming live. She's arriving this evening. We have a number. Celestine Donko is also coming. There are quite a number of artists also here in New York who are also passing through tomorrow to perform. And it's going to be exciting. And so all that I can say is that the man has prepared himself so very well. The album is good. I work on it technically from the studios and everything. And it has the unction to usher any Christian into the presence of God. Hallelujah. And the worship session is good. He's going to have almost about 40 minutes of live worship. Wow. Before even going into the praise session of his album. And for me, it's exciting. The God is so good, the Metrobotanbi and the Yesufela, those songs, he's going to go back to back and play all of them back to back without mincing words. And then also we're having other ministers like Stella Dugan will be performing Ukrayemu and all those songs, all of them will also be on stage. And so we are prepared. We've done what we are supposed to do as people. The rest is for the people of Bronx, the Church of Pentecost, to come and celebrate their own. And I'm saying that the Church of Pentecost must really open big opportunities for people who are in their church.
They have great talents.
Yes, they are musicians.
Talents,
From Elder Kwesi Miriku to Dana Hamilton to Elder Francis J.
Oh, Dana Hamilton is from Pentecost?
Yes, Dana Hamilton's father was an apostle of Church of Pentecost. Yeah. Dana Hamilton's father was an apostle.
Can't wait to meet him.
Yeah. You know, and so I'm saying that it is important that the church have to open up. Because the church have got a certain that even if the musicians within their church decide not to sing outside, they can be blessed the whole wide world.
That's right.
Without anybody's contribution.
Right.
Because so far, the Church of Pentecost, with over 4 million population, that church alone with over 4 million, should have the capacity to empower their musicians. They should have the capacity to empower them. They should build a music ministry, possibly like what Pastor Chris is doing. You know, the church has established a record label and is promoting Sinach, Steve Crown, Joe Praise. All these people are coming from Christ Embassy. The church is financing, promoting and pushing them, and they become a blessing to the world. Look at Sinach. And so the Church of Pentecost can open this avenue, use resources and push the individuals, the musicians who are powerful, like Adam Reku, they should. Francis Eji, they should support them with money, real physical money, and push their brands so that they can empower the church around the world. So even for them, they don't need to even minister.
That's it.
The church will be doing, hey, Adam Reku, you are in London, go here. Francis Eji here, Dana Hamilton, go to this place. They should empower them. Because the church has got too much of a big platform for their musicians to even suffer around. There's too much of blessing in Church of Pentecost. And the church should open their arms wide and see to the welfare of the artists. And also, I don't know what they are doing, but I know maybe they are doing something. But personally, I think that is my personal advice that the church and its leadership, it is high time they look at this and embrace their musicians. Even the younger ones that are coming, open the opportunities. The pastors in various branches, they should support them because Bible, even when we go to heaven, there's only one, there's no preaching in heaven. Like you said the last time. The only thing in heaven is to worship God. So if you have musicians who are dedicated in praising and worshiping God, and their ministry has become a blessing to the world, there's nothing wrong for the church to even use them to empower for revival, empower them for growth, empower them resourcefully. How much would they even need to survive? Their welfare is small, where they will sleep, their children, feeding, and all these things. And then they are fine. Which should never be a problem at all. They should patronize their CDs, their materials, download their songs, and the church must create a music platform. And if the capacity is not there, some of us, we are willing to partner with them and then give them that support.
That's good.
So that they can help establish that block of the music ministry in worldwide.
That's good.
So that they can use it to empower their musicians. Because if you're an artist and you record in Church of Pentecost, even nothing should worry you at all. You should be celebrated across the world.
Wow.
Because going to Canada, they are there. America, they are there.
They're everywhere.
Europe, even China, French, everywhere they are there.
Everywhere.
So their musicians should not suffer at all. And those in the top, even especially those who they themselves have pushed themselves up to the level, the church must now adopt them, push them resourcefully, and engage them and make sure that at least they are blessing the whole world with music.
Wow. I really bless, I really bless God for, Akwesi Ernest. And it's been a very interesting time here, getting him right here at the studio and talking to him. And my wish and prayer is this, that those of you who are around the Bronx, New York area,
That's true.
New Jersey, Connecticut, listen, literally, Elder Francis, a great man of God. And I pray that his music has been a blessing to some of us, and it's still blessing us. You know that somebody's called to do something when they pick up just one song. And for how many years now, that song, anytime it's being lifted, something still happens. God, you are so good.
Yeah.
God, you are kind. God, you are wonderful. My God, you are excellent. He said, excellent is thy name. Excellent is thy power.
That's true.
God, you are wonderful. My God, you are excellent. It's a very powerful song.
Yeah.
Very, very powerful song.
Yeah.
And hallelujah.
You know that his worship song, He has become
My salvation.
my salvation.
Yeah.
And that song, anytime it's lifted, oh my God.
Yeah.
Is such a worship song,
Yeah.
a heavy track
Yeah.
that
It's-
the world
yeah.
embraces.
Yeah. That song did marvelous.
Yes.
That song did excellent. And so I pray that as, he's under your covering now, that, he will be able to expand, spread his wings and do what he's called to do. And it's up to us to stand and to support great talents like this for them to get to where they have to go. Because guess what? Music literally is medicine.
Yeah, it's true.
Music is.
Yeah.
Music is medicine. And somebody can hear music and it doesn't matter how depressed you are. Sometimes you go to the, you go to the mall and, some of this secular music, and you are born again and you see yourself tapping your feet and, snapping your finger. Why? Because music literally ministers to the soul. I pray that as we, are going to celebrate this great man of God, Francis, I pray that we will all come together. Let's do this to the glory of
I think that is a blessing. One of the challenges that we've had in a few years running through, and we have a lot of debates in Ghana on this, and I hope very soon you come to Ghana. We do one of this in Ghana soon.
Hallelujah.
A big conference, women conference in Ghana. Pastor, you have to come. This is a revelation, You have to come to town. We'll put it together. You come to Accra, powerful women conference and all that.
Yeah.
I think that it's been over the table for discussion quite some time now. Quite a number of time, people see gospel artists like they are not supposed to have even money.
That's.
And because whatever they are doing, their gift is from God. And so they have to do it freely for God. And when I heard some of these messages, my heart really, it hurts. Because it's important for us to appreciate people. I'm saying that workers in the house of God, from instrumentalists to these days, we have churches now who are paying their instrumentalists in churches now. Because music is part of the embodiment of the worship of God. And it's important that people who practice their ministry, in terms of full-time ministry, has to be taken care of. And that kind of thing, mentality, that people who sing, why are they charging to perform? All these type of things should be aware.
But they have to be taken care of.
They have to be taken care of.
Oh, yeah.
And so people, you see somebody has a big name, and you go to the person's archives and the person doesn't have nothing. And it has so many people. I remember in years back, Kusi Breku and all those people, we have to solicit money on radio, even when, for their health.
I mean, you bringing this thing up, and there's a gentleman, Jesus, bring me his name, a gentleman that the other day I think was on Facebook, where people have to go and get him from his building, and he could hardly walk.
Yes.
And they will have to now carry him and put him in the taxi, and sitting in the taxi alone was something else. And what is his name? He's from Nzema.
Joelaka.
Joelaka.
Yeah. See the whole thing. And so, and it's so sad that you see the legend, people, they are poor and they don't have nothing. Because
why is that though?
It is that because our society doesn't believe that we need to celebrate and reward people of this. We need to celebrate and reward them. You understand? And we have spoken that to today. Even people, for Ghanaians to even go to musicians in Ghana to download their music, till today it's even a problem. And I want anybody to walk to me and tell me that out of our 34 million population in Ghana, has any musician even able to receive 1 million downloads from Ghana? Let 1 million people download Joe Mettle songs to support his ministry. And even particularly with the church.
They'll be clapping for you.
They'll be clapping. They will dance after bye-bye, walk of you. How should a person survive? You understand? We need to sow into...
It's a mindset.
It's a mindset. We need to sow into the life of people.
It's a mindset.
I'm saying that Ron Canoli, people invite him from here to Ghana, and they pay him over $50,000.
Oh, yeah.
Don Moore, they invite him from here, they pay him over $20,000, $30,000. Kirk Franklin has been in Ghana. I'm saying that. Go and ask how much they pay this young man from here to Ghana. I'm saying, are they worshiping God than anybody else? It's the same John 3:16 we are all reading.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Pastor, it's the same John 3:16 we are all reading.
Wow.
But there's a society here which believes that these are our legends. Let us use resources to empower them, to take care of them. And then you come to our side too. There are society too who also believe that people who are practicing this, they don't need to even take money at all when they perform.
Wow.
And so it's up to today, it's a difficult thing for even a pastor to look into the face of a gospel artist and say that you have come to my church and perform. So let me bless you with $1,000. Let me bless you with this. And then you perform, they'll call you, hey, you have 200 Ghana cedis too. And I look at it and say, Pastor, you are not serious. Are you serious? You people are buying Bentleys and Range Rovers and driving. What is wrong with if a gospel artist is driving a Bentley? We need to empower our gospel. I was in South Africa. For years back, I wanted to work with Benjamin Dube. I went to him and I met with him. He had a meeting with me in one of the plush Caesars Palace Hotel in South Africa. The terms and the conditions that he put on the table, I said, yes, this is it. We must do the same thing for Joe Mettle. We must do the same thing for SP Kofi Sapon. The same thing for Gift to Osai, Just Bless. All these artists, we see them around. We must empower them like that. The church must empower. The Christian community must empower them. We have failed them. We have failed them. And then we, the same people, when we see them going wayward, we will come back and bash them. Say, hey, she said, what are we expecting them to do? Must they die? They also have families. They have family, they need to survive. And so we must, the church must take care of their musicians. Because there's only one place a gospel artist can perform. In the church. And in the church only. Gospel is the word of God. And so it must be practiced where God's children are. And so if God's people are not given the platform for the gospel musicians to perform, where should they go? Where should they go?
It's sad because some start, heavily in the church. And before you know it, they end
exactly.
And then they end.
That's how it is.
Dying.
That's how it is. And there's so much of gospel artists who are frustrated. Some of them, and they are in their rooms now. And we need to take pen and paper, write some of them there, and then go and look for them and bring them back. Because if not, for the next 5 years, Sister Blessing, if not for the next 5-10 years, we are going to have so many of our gospel musicians going down. They'll be frustrated and they'll be exiting their careers. That's the thing. Where is Nobon Ketia? Where is Moses Oki?
Where are they?
Where are they? Sister, we need to look for them. Where is Nana Iwasari?
Wow.
What are these fine musicians?
Wow.
People, look at Moses Oke, a great worshiper in Ghana.
Wow. Where is he?
Sister, I should also be asking you.
Wow.
We need to look for them. What challenges are they going through? What can we do to empower them?
I got a chance to talk to him. Was it
Yes.
last year or 2 years ago? Yeah.
Exactly. What can we do to lift their career up? Maybe it's financial problem. Maybe it's health problem. They will need something to go to studio and record. All of them. Fine gentlemen. There was one guy in Kumasi, Owar Jr. Fantastic singer.
I love that guy.
A big worshipper.
I love that guy.
And
yeah.
there's big churches in Kumasi, all these pastors in big gowns. None of them can go and look for this young man and put resources and empower him.
Wow.
Why, what happened to the church? Is it only about our collections and the collections only? Why are we building a bank account? There's no account in heaven. The only account is the souls we are taking to heaven.
Hey. Wow. This is deep.
Yes. It's only souls, the souls we are taking to heaven. So if you have these musicians who are singing and empowering the church, let us put money, resources, and put them. Let us tell them, ICGC, Royal House Chapel, empower the musicians, put resources into them. Organist Crusade, let them sing. Where are they? Where is Cindy Thompson?
Whoa.
Where is Cindy Thompson?
Whoa.
Where are they? Where are these fine musicians?
Whoa.
Has anybody looked for any of them? Where are they? Reverend Yaba Mensah, Yaps. When was the last time you heard of Yaps?
Wow.
Professor Kofi Abraham. All these fantastic singers. Yasapon. Where are all these fine gentlemen? We need to look for them. These are trailblazers of gospel music.
Wow.
People who set the foundations. Through their music, somebody was able to give birth.
Yeah.
Through their music, somebody was able to do this. We need to look for them and then empower them. Sometimes, I wish I have all the money in the world.
Oh.
There are fine musicians. We need to empower them. Look at Reverend Yossin, the Tego sisters, the Daughters of Glory Jesus. We need money.
Great talent.
Great talent. Ministers. Ministers. We need to empower them. Stella Dugan, where is she? We need to empower them. Fine musicians in the world. Ghana has produced. Today, Reverend Meriganza.
Oh.
Look at Meriganza, fantastic singer. Reverend Esther Nyameche.
Yeah.
Look at them. What are we doing? We want more, and we cannot take care of what we have already produced, and we want new ones. Hey! No. We need to, the church must rewind their mindset and look at what we are doing. That all the monies and the assets we are acquiring, one day, God will just strike one tender fire and pull all those buildings and the Bentleys down. The word God is going to take is the souls that will be left. So the church must be interested in human beings than the bank account they are fighting around for. The church must be interested in the souls.
Hey, this man is Bodo.
The church must be interested.
Wow.
Why are we sowing so much into buildings and estates? Pastor is having estates. So what? Pastor is having... The other day I saw a pastor, a young lady was interviewing a pastor who has bought a private jet. And the young lady asked him, so now you have bought a private jet. What about the wealth of your church members? And the pastor could not answer. Because your mindset alone, you have poor people in your church and you are driving in private jet, you alone, going around the world. And when we ask you, you say you are doing evangelism. What evangelism is that? Which one is our interest?
Oh, wow.
Which one is our interest?
Wow.
We need to empower them. And I'm for this argument. I am ready to battle any pastor on this level. And I will boldly look at any pastor and say that the church has failed their musicians. We do not, it has gotten to a level, if care is not taken, we will not have the power to even query or blame them because we have exposed them too much outside. We have exposed them too much to the outside world. The church have not done anything to protect their musicians. And so if they are going wayward, where should they go? Pastors around the world, majority of them, only few of them are doing something. You could see one or two. Some of them too have been broken-hearted due to one or two support they gave to some of the artists. And then ungrateful attitude came in, and some of them too. But hey, I'm saying, if you're a pastor, you have to soak it and continue doing good because that is your mandate. It's your mandate. It's your mandate. The church has failed the gospel musicians. We need to. That's why they are right. Look at the songs we are listening these days.
There's no substance in it.
Good.
Seriously.
Because they feel like they want to attract the worldly people to people bang 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 bang. Me kuna to minimum go abonti. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Because those who are doing spiritual songs, they want to be in the room and pray. There's no money for them to even buy Milo and drink. So they are dying of hunger. So the younger generation, they say, hey, me, I cannot be poor. Or bang.
Nice.
So the boy also to marry a survival. We can't have the power to blame them.
Wow.
And I'm ready to battle any pastor on this for this debate. One-on-one. The church needs to do more than we are doing now.
May the King of Glory help us.
Amen.
And I like the way he said amen. May the Lord help us so that we would, really put things right and do the right thing. My prayer is that as we, are hearing this over and over again, there is somebody who may be watching me and is saying, yes, I am called to be a supporter. I am called. Remember in the beginning of the interview, he said he came up with his own album. Then he realized that this is not his field, even though it's the music industry, but this is not his field. When he moved from there and decided to support others, he's become the best. And so we are called to stand with one another. When God gives us the grace for us to see great talent, that we are supposed to be standing with them and making sure. Now, of course, there are some musicians too, because of their own attitudes, and it will be hard for somebody to help them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and so that is also there. But I pray that, whether it is attitude or behavior or character or whatever it is, that we will have a heart, full of compassion to know that that soul is very important to Christ. That soul is important to God. And we have to do anything or whatever we have to do to make sure that that soul, that particular soul, really makes it to heaven. And so we bless God for this time spent here. And I want to say thank you to Mr. Kwesi Ernest for gracing us today and for everything that has gone out of his mouth. My prayer is that if you are watching us, I want you to spread this video like no man's business. Let it get into the hands of those in authority in our nation, Ghana there, those in authority, that they will sit down and sit up, okay, and do something about this. I also want to take this opportunity, if these two great men, are watching us, my prayer is that the bond of peace will continue and that you will come together and know that every one of us is gifted differently, but all to the glory of the living God. The Lord richly bless you. And do you have any last words?
My last words is that tomorrow I'm expecting all of us in Bronze, from wherever you are watching us from, even those who cannot come, find a way to send in your blessing.
Yeah.
And let's bless Elder Francis Eji. We want to bless his life, we want to bless his ministry and everything that he is doing. We are calling on the church, also those who are around Bronze area here, to come to the Church of Pentecost tomorrow at 7 p.m. Let us worship. 22nd June is my birthday, and I'm sure that this will be my last time of meeting you here. Maybe till I come again. I'm leaving back to Ghana on Monday or so. And it's my pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, it is. It's same here.
I can't wait to have you in Ghana. There's more your children must have.
Yeah.
We need to host this Ghana edition.
Yeah.
We need to host the Ghana edition.
Yeah.
Maybe some women conference. Empower your daughters. Empower them. Let's see. We are ready to support you. Greetings to my entire workforce, the Media Excel team, Abna Ruti, the younger artists who are coming up. Yeah, we are doing. I'm sure that God will continue to lead our path to raise more giants into the music industry. There are new artists who are coming up that we are blessing them. We are trying to lift them up. I've been in this state for quite some time now, trying to find new measures and structures for the industry and all that kind of thing. So we are investigating and making sure that we bring the right structures that will allow the marketing strategy that will allow our artists to survive out the world on international platform. It's the reason I'm doing all this tour, Canada and all those places, to look for potential market opportunities for them. So if you are watching us from anywhere, you can go to our Media Excel page.
Awesome.
And then download all the artists for the song of the artist. You go to www.mediaexcel.uprisemedia.com, where you can have all the songs there from SP Kofi Sapong to Just Blessing to other Francis J and all the artists, Abner Ruti. You can have all of them. There are songs there that you can have access to download them. Visit us. And if you have any questions too, you can also visit my Facebook page.
That's it.
NS Kwesi. And then send me your comment, I'll respond. Or my Instagram, NS_Kwesi also. And I'll be there to respond to you.
Well, I really appreciate the time you've spent with us today, because I know you are very busy, but I really appreciate the time spent with us. And it's a great opportunity to be sitting down with you. And I know all the people that you've managed, they will all sit in this chair for me to be talking to them, because some of these things are very important. How we we manage each other, we love each other, we stand for each other, we support each other. Why? Because it's all about the soul. It's not about what we're going to receive or get out of it, but the soul. And so we bless God for this time. And I really thank you so much for the time. And tomorrow we are gathering, going to stand and to celebrate, Francis J, Elder Francis J. And let's do this to the glory of the Almighty God. I hope to see you there. The Lord bless you. Until then, I'm Sylvia Blessings, and I love you with the love of the living God. I'll see you when I see you. The Lord bless you. Bye-bye.